Welcome back to Second and Short. It is Friday, November 24th, 2023. It is Black Friday. It is the day after Thanksgiving. I hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving. Me and Luke haven't gotten to enjoy our Thanksgivings just yet because it is Wednesday as we're recording this, but I hope you guys all had a great time. I hope you ate way more than anticipated. I hope you watched way too much football, talked about nothing with way too many family members, and hope you're actively finding great deals today on Black Friday. Luke, let's make some personal Thanksgiving predictions. What is a prediction about what you're gonna do tomorrow?
Ooh, my girlfriend and her brothers are gonna fight a lot.
Okay, I like that's. I'd probably put that at like minus 200.
Yeah, yeah,
It's probably favored to happen.
it is
Um,
gonna happen.
yeah, I think I'm gonna eat way too many carbs and feel like garbage on Friday, like all day.
Yeah, well, that definitely gonna happen.
Yeah, there's
I'm ready, man.
yeah.
I'm ready.
Actually, here, there is a plus. It's like a plus 1,000 that I eat a vegetable tomorrow.
Okay,
Plus 1,000 that
all
I eat a
right.
single vegetable tomorrow. Okay, well, let's go ahead and just kind of. First of all, we're going to be going over our normal stuff. NFL Week 12. We'll be going through all the Thanksgiving games, even though they will be decided by the time you listen to it. But we have some MLB free agency news starting to heat up a little bit. Premier League weekend. Premier League's back from the international break. Then we got the Champions League Matchday 5 coming up next week. And then, of course, questions time. Before we get into anything, though, Luke, how do you feel about the firing of Matt Canada?
Oh yeah, that was big news. I'm pretty glad, especially after the Browns game. A little bit unfortunate for him, moving down to the sidelines, being 2-0, and then getting fired, the third week on the sidelines. So I mean, I think it was definitely a step that needed to happen, when your quarterback gets outplayed by a third string quarterback. But, kind of going to off the topic of what I just talked about, the next step is Kenny Pickett. I'm still not satisfied, and I have a feeling that I still won't be satisfied until something is done with him. But, knowing the Steelers, there's a good chance we're going to be with Kenny Pickett for a while. I like him, just don't think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, I also don't think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it came to the Matt Canada thing, it seemed like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
When you put up 10 points in a loss, in a 13-10 loss, pretty
Yep.
brutal to see. And just throughout the entire season, you guys just really haven't put up the points that you probably should, considering the
Mm-mm.
strength you guys have at running back and at wide receiver. But we'll see what happens. Who's the interim? Do you know?
It's going to be Mike Sullivan. I think he was
Okay.
the quarterback's coach, which was the same thing they did with Randy Fichtner. He was Ben's quarterback's coach and then took over, and that also didn't work out. So I actually have a Matt Canada stat here saved on my
Oh,
phone just to
please
give him a send-off.
enlighten me.
The Steelers' offense hasn't gained over 400 yards in 58 straight games. This streak began week 3 of the 2020 season, so we still had Ben Roethlisberger. During this span, NFL offensives have gone over 400 yards 462 times, and the Steelers have not done it once. And here we go, I got one more here. This is the first time that the Steelers have ever fired a coach or, done anything like that in season since 1941, and that coach fired himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So, very, it's a big move because Randy Fichtner was bad too, but we rode the season out with him. So, yeah, I mean, it seems like we're making steps in the right direction, but I'm kind of worried that it's out of response of how the players have been responding to it all. Um, I haven't seen a Steelers team, this down bad in a while. Like you got Najee in interviews, he doesn't even know what to say. You got George Pickens freaking out and giving the team mixed signals. It's not doing too good, but hopefully this is a step in the right direction. And I mean, Mike Tomlin, who wouldn't want to play for Mike Tomlin? So I'm
Yeah,
not too worried about it.
that's fair. I think an anonymous players poll said that Mike Tomlin is the coach you'd want to play for.
I saw
vast
that.
majority. So, yeah, he's definitely got to play for. I guess I'll address the elephant in the room. I am wearing an Aaron Rodgers Packers jersey. In case you couldn't tell, it was a good deal. That's all I'm gonna say. It was a good deal. We've addressed the fact that we both were big Aaron Rodgers fans.
Oh yeah,
So
big time.
yeah, I couldn't beat this deal. It was literally Prime, like shipped with Prime, so free shipping, and it was like $15.
Oh wow,
Yeah, can't beat that.
look at that.
But yeah, without further
thrifty.
ado, let's go ahead and get into the NFL Week 12, aka Feast Week, and yeah,
East week, baby.
let's start with Thursday's games, even though they already happened. I'm sure as you're listening to these, you're going to be rolling your eyes at what horrible predictions we make. But let's start 12:30 p.m. Packers Lions. Lions a 7.5 point favorite. I know Jared Goff looked pretty bad last week. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't.
No, I mean, the Bears did, put up 26, and they were, the Lions had to come back against them. But let's remind everybody that they put up 26 points and lost 31-26, and Jared Goff had 3 picks, and the Bears didn't even turn the ball over. They would have gotten shit on if Jared Goff didn't play bad. So, yeah, it's a horrible loss for Chicago and a really good fight win for Detroit. We haven't really seen them have to do that often.
Yeah.
So I feel like with them now being 8-2, it almost gave us a different element of this team to look at as far as like possibilities go in the future. Maybe they can come back in a big playoff game. Who knows? But yeah, this Detroit team is special, and it's awesome to see the NFL when they're good.
Yeah, like the running back
For literally the
ahead.
first time in our lives, if you think about it.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Crazy. It is.
Yeah, I'm loving the running back share. I think David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, like Jahmyr gets you down the field, David Montgomery scores a touchdown. David Montgomery gets you down the field, Jahmyr scores a touchdown. They're throwing the ball to Jahmyr a whole lot more. I think it all works out for the best, and Amon-Ra is still one of the hottest wide receivers in the league.
Yeah, that's all you got to say. But, flipping over to the Packers side, damn, we were dead wrong about how they were going to do last week. I don't understand how the Packers ended up winning this game. But, I mean, hey, Jordan Love, around a 50% completion rate, 322 yards and 2 touchdowns, no picks. Yeah, I mean, plain and simple, really just outplayed Herbert, surprisingly, in this game as far as, like, yardage goes. But, yeah, they look great against the Chargers.
Yeah, the only issue with this one is that the splits kind of tell the story for the Packers. 3-2 at home, 1-4 on the road. Going to Detroit, a team that's 4-1 at home, it's not going to be easy whatsoever.
Nope.
I do think that the Lions have to watch out for the Jordan Love, Jaden Reed connection. They're heating up quite a bit. Jaden Reed's the leading receiver on this Packers team this season. He's a rookie.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, he's not being talked about whatsoever, but he's been very good for them, despite how well Romeo Doubs and a few moments from Christian Watson. Jaden Reed has 4 touchdowns, 463 yards, 32 receptions. He's been their best receiver for sure, and I think they're a duo to watch out for, like scoring a touchdown or 2 this week.
Yeah, okay.
But final score-wise, it's tough. I think I know the Lions kind of struggled early in the last week, but I don't see that happening this week. I think Dan Campbell knows how to bounce back with those guys, so I'm going to go Lions 28, Packers 17.
I'm going to go a similar score. I'm going to go Lions 24, Packers 14, 10-point game.
All right. Well, let's get into the afternoon, 4:30 p.m., Commanders, Cowboys. Ooh, not going to go well for the Commanders. I hate to say it.
No, not at all.
No.
After Tommy DeVito, I think that may have just kind of ended their entire season. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants are lucky. You know, they already have a quarterback that's better than Kenny Pickett, maybe even two of them. When you have a quarterback who's new to the game and he can get sacked 9 fucking times and throw 26 passes, complete 18 of them for 246 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no picks. Holy shit. In a division rivalry game? Wow. That was, fantastic. But, back to the Commanders side, they just flat out should not have lost this game. And Sam Howell kind of blew it for them with turnovers and everything. And, Tommy DeVito just capitalized on the mistakes.
Yeah, it was surprising, and considering you're facing what I would consider a much better quarterback than Tommy DeVito this week, and Dak Prescott, who's been red hot recently, their secondary has sucked all year for the Commanders. I think that's been a problem all year. It's a young secondary. It's just not all that good. They are going to get absolutely run out of Dallas.
Yeah, on Thanksgiving, dude. Yeah.
I think I do think though Brian Robinson could have a big impact in this game because of his versatility. There's gonna be a lot of just like nothing deep. Toss it off to Brian Robinson. Try and let him do something, and then hand it off. See what he can do because he's that talented. He's really coming to his own this season. He's a guy that'll play well for the Commanders. As a whole, though, there's no way they keep up with the scoring ability of the Cowboys.
No, I completely agree. And the Cowboys got a good defense, too. And the Commanders didn't really do that great against the Giants defense, which is not as good as the Cowboys. But,
correct. Yeah,
I mean, I like the points that you made. Dak Prescott, we got to give him his bread when he deserves it, and he definitely has deserved it these past couple weeks. He's been phenomenal. Not a big yardage game despite putting up 33 points, but still, stakes are non-existent with him lately, which has been great. And then Tony Pollard got into the end zone as well, which is a big deal. Maybe he can get some momentum from that. But score prediction, I'm gonna go 31-17 Dallas.
I'm gonna go 35-14 Dallas.
All right.
Next game, 49ers Seahawks. Another division rivalry. Top 2 teams in the division. This one's going to be better than it seems. Is that fair to say? The 49ers are 7.5 point favorite on the road in Seattle. If I know anything about these Seattle fans, that's not okay. And they're going to do something about it.
But see, on the other side of that, though, like I'm not down with the Seahawks anymore. They are 6-4, but they're
more than their team.
Yeah, that's definitely a fair assumption. But I don't think the 49ers are really the team that, the fans are going to make all the difference against, man. I think that they're like when they're on, they're a pretty much a no-mistake team. Like, you got Brock Purdy. He'll never throw a pick and maybe have like 5 incomplete passes, 3 touchdowns. And, Christian McCaffrey is there as well. So I really don't see how the Seahawks are going to pull it off, especially in primetime under the lights and everything. I mean, CenturyLink is going to be bumping, but so are the 49ers.
Correct. It's just an unstoppable offense. Like when Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey are rolling, there's nobody can help you.
No.
Not even Tariq Woolen, who's been getting burned all year. Or on offense, Kenneth Walker, who's not getting the ball and got hurt last week. I don't even know if he's active this week. Zach Charbonnet did look good. I'll give him that. But
shout out.
Once again, the 49ers are obviously going to play great defense. And with how the Seahawks offense has just been here and there, I think there's no way they keep up with the 49ers. Because, look, the 49ers are going to put up, their 24 or 28 points. And the Seahawks just will not be able to get to that point.
No, I mean, and it's weird that we're even talking about the Seahawks like this because, like, they have a lot of big play, caliber players on their team, like DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and even Jackson Smith and Jigba. And that's, going to be the key for me. I think if the Seahawks have a chance, they're going to need a couple of big play touchdowns to be able to beat the 49ers. But it probably won't happen.
Yeah, honestly, that's the best way to score against the 49ers because it's hard to do anything with all those guys in front of you. Like you
Yeah,
have to get lucky and hope that somebody in that secondary blows their coverage because
yeah.
that's going to be your best chance to get past them.
Yeah, that's way more likely of happening than to actually grind out a drive against this defense.
Yeah.
Because, even with their starters, the 49ers can still sub, in guys that are ready 100%. Like, it doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to grind them down because there's another guy that's just as good, on the bench. So,
Exactly.
yeah, this game's going to be brutal. Kind of like what you said, the 49ers have a pretty good blueprint of how they win. I feel like they win games very similarly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 49ers 28, Seahawks 14. Super simple.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm going to say the Seahawks cover the 7.5 point spread. I'm going to say 49ers win 28-21, but it looks way more dominant than it really was.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Our next game is the first ever Black Friday game. It's on Prime Video
Wow.
exclusively. Now you guys won't know what happened, so this is way more fun. Dolphins, Jets. And there goes the fun that was once there because this matchup is brutal. Tim
Oh,
Boyle,
boy.
starting quarterback. Trevor Siemian, backup quarterback. Zach Wilson, third string quarterback for the Jets now. What happened to what happened to Robert Saleh saying like 5 weeks ago? This guy gives us the best chance to win.
I know.
It's unfortunate.
Now we got to crawl until Rodgers gets back is the new
Yeah.
name of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I kept on talking about it early on in the season, but I really thought after Hard Knocks we were going to see like a different Zach Wilson, which I think we have. He's a much better kid than what he used to be.
Yep.
And, sometimes I kind of felt like the ability might come with that because, a lot of football is a mental game as well. But that just has not happened for Zach Wilson at all. It's not like he doesn't have talent on this offense. I mean, they have Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, and, now with no more, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name, Michael Carter, it's Israel.
Yeah.
From Pitt.
Abanikanda.
Who had one rush for 11 yards. Shout out. Got a first down.
And of course you have Garrett Wilson, who's
can't forget about him.
Amazing. And Alan Lazard, who's certainly good enough to do something, but yeah, like it's hard to say that they can do anything. I will say Zach Wilson, the only quarterback this season that beat the Eagles.
Shout out Zach Wilson.
Yeah, gotta remind him of that in case he's struggling at the moment.
Down.
What sucks
is
that we're talking about the Jets like this and they're 4-6. So are the Falcons. We don't have to talk about that right now. But look, the Dolphins' offense is great. The Jets' defense is great. It's not good enough to stop them from scoring 3 points, which is all they will probably need to beat the Jets.
Yeah.
Like Tim, exactly. I don't know if anybody knows how bad of a quarterback Tim Boyle really is. He sucks. And for him to be starting is concerning. There's not much else to say about this Dolphins team. I think A-Chain is back out of the lineup after getting kind of re-hurt early in the game. And then coming off the short week. Yeah, he's questionable. He was a limited participant. Tyreek was limited as well. But Tyreek did say he's going to play. It doesn't matter. And then Raheem Mostert, limited in practice today as well. Salvin Ahmed is going to miss the rest of the season with a foot injury. So that kind of hurts the running back depth, especially if A-Chain can't get back. But, yeah, like with the Dolphins, all their guys just are questionable every week, which bothers me a little bit, when it comes to trying to make a projection.
Oh, for sure.
But they have struggled on the road. 2-3 on the road for the Dolphins is pretty surprising. I think it's a little bit closer than most think it would be, but the Jets just can't kind of get the offense going. I think it's Dolphins 17, Jets 9.
Okay. That's your score prediction?
Yeah.
That's That's pretty accurate. Because I don't like how the Dolphins have really looked the last couple weeks. Like you
Yeah.
have the loss to the Chiefs, which I mean, if you're going to be one of the better teams, I would have liked to have seen a better performance than 14 points there, especially with that offense. And then you only put up 20 against Oakland, which may all be because of Jalen Ramsey. To be honest with you, he's
Yeah.
crazy back in Miami. That's so good for them. With it being, funky game, divisional rivalry, Black Friday, I'm actually going to take the Jets in this one. I think the Jets are going to have the upper hand. I'm going to go Jets 16, Dolphins 14.
All right. Look at Tim Boyle. Maybe Trevor Siemian. Um,
Yeah.
all right.
I hope it's Trevor Siemian. I
Yeah.
actually don't mind him at all.
All right. Let's get into Sunday. We'll start it off Saints Falcons, the 5-5 NFC South leading Saints, the 4-6 Falcons are a 1-point favorite. I don't know. I simply have zero comments on the state of the Falcons right now.
We'll talk about the Saints.
Okay, Saints. Derek Carr, really good at getting hurt once a week. Alvin Kamara, really good at having a good game every other week. Chris Olave, really good at not getting the ball as much as he should. Yeah, that's what I've got on the Saints at the moment. Michael Thomas still sucks. Still sucks.
Dude, Jameis Winston still sucks.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I know he looked okay in the game that he came in, against Minnesota last week, but his picks were horrible.
Yeah.
Some of his decision making.
That's how that goes.
Some of his decision making is literally him in an interview.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but he plays like how he talks in interviews.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just he's kind of out there. Everywhere.
Yeah, he's a very out there guy. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind this Saints team at all, even with Jameis Winston and saying that. Alvin Kamara is just ridiculous. Chris Olave had a great game against Minnesota last week. And then the Falcons are coming off of a disappointing game. Once again, they couldn't game plan really for the quarterback that they were playing against. You have nothing on 2023 Kyler Murray except for the game he played against you. I don't know. None of the Falcons' receiving weapons are getting the ball like they should. Drake London and Kyle Pitts are just kind of left out there. Not even Bijan Robinson really getting too many receptions either. I like seeing him get 22 carries because, against the Cardinals, he'll put up 95 yards and a touchdown for you because that's what he can do. But dang, that Cardinals loss was bad for the Falcons. I think Alvin Kamara is going to have a tough time against this Falcons defense because that is a consistent thing that the Falcons have going for them is a very, very solid defense. But it's not going to be enough, man. I feel like the Falcons are going to lose this one. I'm going to go 20-17 Saints.
Okay. I think there's a predictability to Derek Carr that makes me not believe he can win a game ever. I'm going to ride with the Falcons, but it's not going to be pretty. I'm going to go Falcons 21, Saints 20.
Okay.
All right. Steelers Bengals. Another divisional matchup. All of these games thus far that we've talked about are divisional matchups. This one, can you beat a backup quarterback in Cincinnati?
Can you? I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
New offensive coordinator is super exciting, as I've already said, but it's still Kenny Pickett, man.
I'm glad you feel as shitty as I do as a fan of your football team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
glad we're on the same level.
I like the grit. I like the grit of this team, and it is fun to struggle in a way because it weeds out all of the shit fans. I actually have a fan that I was friends with that quit on the Steelers this year, and nice. I have not talked to him since. Actually, that is Good. A true thing. But I'm not with the quitters. We can't rely on Jaylen Warren to have one big play every game. If he gets 9 carries and 129 yards every game, give him like $85 million for 7 years. But 9 carries is not always going to get you 129 games, which is why I'm not starting him in fantasy, Grayson. I've gotten that question a lot from people in our league. But um, on the other side is Cincinnati with the backup quarterback. We just got done losing to a backup quarterback that was also a rookie. So I have no idea. The only way that I can see the Steelers winning this game is getting some defensive touchdowns and turnovers, like it always has been. So yeah, I'm gonna ride with them. I think the Steelers are gonna win. I'm gonna go 20 again, but 20-14 this time, Steelers.
Okay, I'm gonna go Bengals 17, Steelers 13. I just cannot possibly believe in this offense to score points.
That's fine.
All right,
Why we got
next
the
game.
defense.
Finally, not a division matchup, but it's a horrible game. Panthers-Titans.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Bryce Young versus Will Levis, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Will Levis is kind of entertaining to watch, at least.
Not last week.
Yeah, that was bad last week.
Look, let's be honest. Nobody wins. The viewer doesn't win.
Yeah.
The Panthers certainly don't win. Maybe the Titans win this football game only because they're good at home. All their wins this season have come at home. I guess you could say the same for the Panthers, but all of theirs are won. But yeah, I guess the Titans are going to win. That is the least confident I could possibly be. It's just the Panthers are so bad that I can't, in good faith, take them to win a football game right now.
Well, one thing I feel like the elephant in the room that no one's talking about is how washed Derrick Henry's been playing.
Oh my God, yes! Like he has been ridiculously bad,
consistently bad for about 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
For this Titans team, and honestly, Will Levis didn't even have that bad of a game against Jacksonville at all. Like looking at his stats right now, it was that he literally had no help. He didn't turn the ball over, only got sacked twice, only had 4 incomplete passes and no picks. It's just I think this offense is built for a Derrick Henry that just isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
That's kind of my 2 cents. I think the Panthers might have a chance to win this game.
They do have a chance.
I do.
There's too many holes to poke in this Panthers team, to me. Bad defensive line, bad offensive line, quarterback arguably bad, not enough offensive weapons, no running game. Certainly some weak points all over the defense. So I'm gonna take the Titans. I'm gonna go Titans 17, Panthers 7.
I'm gonna go Titans 3, Panthers 2.
That's a first.
No,
that is a second and short scoreagami.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Titans 15, Panthers 7.
I like 15. That's fun.
Yeah, I mean it's a
it's a fun score.
Yeah, I like 15 too. You got field goals there.
That's so up for interpretation. It could be really 5 field goals. It could be 2 touchdowns with 1 extra point, 1 2-point conversion. It could be a touchdown, 2 field goals, and a safety. So many fun ways to get to 15.
Yeah.
All right, next game though, Buccaneers Colts. Once again, interesting because the Buccaneers have been really bad. They have really taken a turn for the worse. Yeah, the Colts are
5-5.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are interesting. I being 5-5 isn't great, but I respect the fight out of this team with everything they've dealt with this season. They've been there.
Yeah, for the Buccaneers, it's like I can't blame them for the teams they've lost to, throughout this course. Like, so they were 3-1 after they beat the Saints in Week 4. You lose to the Lions, a super close one with the Falcons, Bills, Texans. You beat the Titans, and then you lose to the 49ers. I don't blame them for losing any of those games. Like, at that point, people believed in the Falcons. Otherwise, these are all teams that probably should have beat them. So, it kind of, like, I don't know. It's weird because, like, I still kind of trust Baker Mayfield to be the quarterback. Like, I still don't think he's a game changer, but there's game changing players. They just need to play well at the same time. Chris Godwin had a good week last week. Mike Evans didn't. Every other week, Mike Evans has a good week. Chris Godwin doesn't. Cade Otton had an okay week last week. Other guys aren't having good weeks. Like, nothing is lining up right now for the Buccaneers, and it's killing them.
Yeah, I mean, the only consistent thing that you have going with the Buccaneers lately has been Rachaad White, which I think is the problem. I don't know if I would really say that they're kind of like flip-flopping as far as like who's good, Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, but to me it's just more that they're not getting the ball as much as they should. You know, we haven't seen very many like 10 reception games or 100-yard games out of these guys, and I think that's kind of what's been telling. What from what I can remember of the Buccaneers' 4 wins, you had Mike Evans getting like 111 yards, it kind of in that range, and it's almost like they're spreading the ball too much. I don't know if that's really. I don't know if it's bad to spread the ball too much, but I think they should limit the guys that they're giving the ball to. Trust Chris Godwin, trust Cade Otton, trust Mike Evans, and trust Rachaad White. But some of these other guys are just kind of sucking up the targets, I feel like.
Yeah, I think, when it comes down to like who's getting the most targets, it seems like early in the game, Baker spreads the ball out for like the first 2 quarters. He'll spread the ball out. And then he realized, he's like, so Godwin, I've targeted him 5 times. He's only caught 2 passes. Evans, I've targeted him 4 times. He's caught all 4. Otton, targeted him 3 times. He's caught 2 of them. I'm just going to give Mike Evans 12 targets now. It always seems like it's the guy that starts off the best gets all the targets for the rest of the game.
Yep.
And it's, I don't know why. I think it's just a matter of like, he knows that he's like, okay, well, at this point, I trusted him more than him. I'm going to throw to the first guy. And I think that just hurts them, makes their offense super predictable. When you go into the second half, you're like, okay, this guy's got 6 targets. This guy's got 4. He's caught more passes. He's going to get the ball.
Yep.
And I think that keeps happening week by week. The Colts, they have a chance to win this game. They suck at home, which is an issue. Big issue. When you're a 5-5 team, you're 1-4 at home. There's something fundamentally wrong with your team, and it doesn't help that they cut Shaq Leonard this week.
Oh, I know, and that was an injury cut too. They were just cutting him because he couldn't stay healthy, which I just never liked how that looked.
Yeah, it is weird,
especially with him being an absolute animal.
Yeah,
when he's healthy.
An animal. But, like, think about how that linebacker core is taking such a hit. Bobby Okereke leaves in free agency. Shaq Leonard can't stay healthy. He gets cut. Like, that defense is literally just DeForest Buckner now.
DeForest Zaire Franklin.
Zaire Franklin and, who's the corner that had the 2 pick sixes off Bryce Young? I can't remember that guy's name, but he's very good as well.
Oh, Kenny Moore?
Yes, Kenny Moore.
Yeah, he's solid. Solid, but
yeah, that's their whole defense.
Yeah, and back offensively, last week was kind of a weird week, and 1, it was in Germany. 2, Zach Moss just really didn't get any carries, which I liked for one of my other leagues that I have Jonathan Taylor in, but they looked a lot better offensively when it was more of a shared thing. I don't know if Jonathan Taylor is maybe conditioned enough to be RB1 just yet in this point of the season. I think he kind of needs a little bit more games with Zach Moss to help him out, because he had a decent game against New England, but it wasn't like a typical Jonathan Taylor. Like, you can definitely tell 23 carries, only 69 yards. Nice, pun intended, but also he could do much better. We know he can do much better than that.
Yeah.
As far as this game goes, I think it'll be low scoring. I'm going to go Indianapolis 21, Buccaneers 13.
Okay. I'm going to go Indianapolis 24, Buccaneers 17.
I like it.
All right. Shitty game of the week. The worst. Worse than Panthers Titans somehow. Patriots Giants.
Damn.
I don't want to watch this.
Let's not watch it then.
Like, well, we can talk about it, and the thing to talk about is Tommy DeVito. Luke, okay, I'm going to go through this list of teams that Tommy DeVito has thrown 3 touchdowns against between college and the pros, and tell me who the outlier is, okay? You
All right,
have
the outlier.
Western Michigan, North Carolina, Maryland, the Washington Commanders, Chattanooga, Holy Cross. That's it. There's an outlier.
There's only one
here.
NFL team.
Yeah, that's a problem. Though one of them does have almost the exact same logo as the Washington football team did. Western Michigan is not an NFL team. But yeah, the good thing is that all of those college teams are probably better than the Patriots right now. Like, they are atrocious. Mac Jones.
Dang.
Mac Jones looks like shit. Bailey Zappi, whenever he comes in, also looks like shit. It is just abysmal. Like, everything going on in New England. How the fuck did they beat the Bills a few weeks ago?
I have no idea.
I still can't figure that out.
I mean, the only good thing that you have going on in New England is it looks like Ramondre Stevenson has kind of figured it out the past couple weeks. He's been playing a lot better. But 20 carries, 88 yards against the Colts, you still put up 6 points. It's not
that's
effective.
The issue.
So, yeah, and on the other side, you got Tommy DeVito, probably one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history.
Yeah,
taking
possibly
on
the
Bill
best
Belichick.
Italian of all time.
The single greatest Italian person of all time. Yes, he's up there on the list, right up there with De Niro for me. But
and Gianluigi Buffon,
and Luigi and Mario. We can't forget about both of them. There's some solid Italian people.
Yeah, and Tony Soprano.
We honestly could sit here and name a lot of Italians that are probably better than Tommy DeVito, but Tommy DeVito is going to be a hell of a lot better than Mac Jones. I mean,
somehow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. God, there's so many low scoring games. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of these wrong. 17-9. Patriots are gonna lose.
Yeah, I don't hate that. 14-3 Giants.
Okay.
Yeah. Mac Jones is gonna throw 3 picks.
All right.
All to Xavier McKinney, who I believe is his former teammate at Alabama.
Nice.
All right. Next
nice
game. Final game. Final game of the 1 p.m. slate. A great matchup. A division matchup again. Jaguars,
here we go.
Texans. And just letting everybody know that after the first quarter, C.J. Stroud will be at 3,000 passing yards. He's currently at 2,962. That's unfair.
It is. It is unfair. I mean, there's not really much else to say.
Nothing else to say. It's simply unfair that C.J. Stroud is this good. Guy literally was born October 3rd, 2001. And he's doing this in the NFL.
Yeah.
That man is younger than Colin.
Ridiculous. Oh, wow. Damn.
That's crazy.
Younger than Colin.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud is younger than Colin and lighting up the NFL.
See, that really puts it into perspective.
Yeah.
But, damn, this Texans team has looked really, really good, though. Tough win against Arizona. C.J. Stroud did end up throwing 3 picks, but, I mean, it was about time. He still won the game.
Yeah, he said, like, I'm going to keep shooting. Like, yeah.
But, damn, dude, this Texans offense with a running back looks amazing. Devin Singletary has really, really picked it up for this Texans team.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure C.J. Stroud couldn't be more happy. Texans defense has also looked really good in the past couple weeks, too. I've really liked that. And Tank Dell is just explosive.
Oh, my God.
That's
Tank
really
Dell's
all I got
amazing.
for him. Yeah.
I do think the Jags, should not be slept on just because of the narratives of the Texans right now. The Jags are still a good football team. They're 7-3. They're
Oh yeah,
perfect on the road. Like, that's a big deal. And
yeah.
I think the
Calvin
Jags.
Ridley coming off of a good week too.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley's coming off a good week. Zay Jones' second game off the IR. That's big. His, production's going to go way up. We saw them get dominated by the 49ers. They got right back to their winning ways against the Titans last week. Don't just write them off because of that game. Just because the win streak's over. And I feel like people have done that. So I think the Jags are still going to win simply because the Texans are too hot right now for what they are. I feel like they almost need to be humbled at this point. I think Jacksonville is the team to do it. I'm gonna go high scoring because I don't love the defenses on either side. I'm gonna go Jags 31, Texans 27.
All right, I'm gonna keep riding with the Texans here. I'm gonna go Houston 28, Jacksonville 24.
Okay. Let's get into the 4:05 slate on Saturday, the 4 o'clock Browns Broncos. This one is interesting because the Broncos they're winning games. I'm not going to say playing great. They're winning games.
I was about to say.
Russell Wilson's throwing the ball, not far, but throwing it. Cortland Sutton's catching touchdowns. But something doesn't seem right still.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not right.
But then again, ain't nothing right about the Browns right now, other than the defense.
Oh man, that defense is incredible. Just ask me about it.
Yeah.
I already in this game, I'm already kind of liking the Broncos. Yes, this Browns defense is crazy, but Russell Wilson, he's looked really, really good. He's a veteran quarterback who's seen it all. I think, out of all the quarterbacks in the league that you'd want to play against this Browns defense, I would honestly put Russell Wilson in that consideration. Not necessarily because he's good, but he's playing well now, and, he's a seasoned veteran. So I think you got a really good quarterback defense matchup here in this game. And I think it will simply all come down to the fact that Russell Wilson is better than, what the fuck is this guy's name? Dorian Thompson? Yeah, I think that's going to be the story of the game. Yep. There is the quarterback play. Russ is going to outplay Dorian.
Yeah, if this were the preseason, I'd take the Browns because Dorian Thompson-Robinson was electric in the preseason. But it's not. In case you forgot, it was a few weeks ago. Yeah, I think the Broncos win. This is a matter of being out-experienced. I use that term quite a bit now, but it's true. The Broncos are going to just show off the veteran leadership. Sean Payton is going to show off the veteran leadership as a head coach. I would still like to see Javonte Williams run the ball more. Just in general, this offense needs to run the ball more because Russ isn't getting a lot of passing yards, but he's passing for touchdowns, and it's all because of starting off in good field position.
Yep.
Obviously, against the Browns, you probably do have a chance to start off in good field position, but it is certainly going to be hard to do that through the air. If you're to move up the field through the air, if you've got Greg Newsome and Denzel Ward to worry about. So
that is true.
I feel like it might be close just because of the Browns defense and the fact that the Broncos certainly haven't shown that they can run the ball at an elite level, and Russ can't really throw the deep ball this year. So I'm going to still take the Broncos, but I'm going to take them I'm going to go 21-20 Broncos.
Oh, wow. I'm going to go 19-10 Broncos.
Okay. Let's get into the next game, division game. Rams, Cardinals. That one's bad. It's bad.
Horrible.
You know what's bad is that
Horrible.
This is a game where the Cardinals, who were the preseason favorite to get the first overall pick, are favored by a point.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Shout out Arizona.
Yeah, or the opposite of whatever a shout out is, shun the Rams.
A shutdown?
Yeah, I guess. Look, Matthew Stafford came back last week, looked rather ineffective. Cooper Kupp hurt himself again. Ankle sprain. Puka has a small shoulder injury. He's day to day though. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Does not at all.
I really think this Cardinals team is going to win here.
I do too.
I really
Kyler
do.
Murray, I hate him. He's fun to watch. He is fun to watch right now.
He is. He really is like just a little baby man running out there playing quarterback. Like just his little scramble that he does.
Yeah, no, there's nothing
he's
funnier
phenomenal.
than watching that man run.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say except for I do like how this Arizona Cardinals offense looks with Connor and Kyler back. I think, you know, they may have lost last week, but they did beat the Falcons. I can kind of see a blueprint here for Arizona. I just don't really think that they have a very good wide receiver right now. It's starting to look like Marquise Brown, a.k.a. Hollywood, is not the guy. Trey McBride is the guy, though.
He is good.
So
Very
I
good
think
tight
if you're
end.
Arizona, you just look for a wide receiver, and you know soon you're going to be a decent team once you build up that defense. But yeah, I'm going to take Arizona 21-14.
Okay. Yeah, I think Arizona needs to lose this game, considering they probably want Marvin Harrison Jr. in the draft.
That would be incredible on this team.
Oh my God. But I still do think they'll win. The Rams are simply that bad right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Kyron Williams is coming back though.
I
Before you
know.
make that prediction,
Well, he's questionable.
I didn't think about that.
I think he's
Yeah,
questionable.
questionable.
Oh man, this is hard. You know what? I think this is one of the first times I'm doing this. Cardinals 20, Rams 20.
Dude, if this is something you're right about,
I would fucking
this
lose my mind.
This is the first tie
Of
prediction
the
in
season,
second in short history.
This doesn't happen. We don't typically go this deep into a season without a tie.
That is true. Yeah, no
last
one's tied
week, or last year, I think we had 2 in week 1.
Yeah, something ridiculous like that.
I think there's gonna be a tie.
Wow, the first ever tie prediction in second in short history. Well, pay attention, guys, because it's we'll have to all see together.
It's gonna be an electric factory in Arizona. $12 to get in.
Nice.
That's bad, dude. $12
Yeah, it
to get
is.
into an NFL game on Thanksgiving week.
Oh my God, it's like going to see baseball.
Ouch. Oh my God. It's not much better in Nashville. $26 to get into the Titans game. But this one won't be easy to get into. Chiefs Raiders at Allegiant Stadium, $217 to get in. But the Chiefs, an 8.5-point favorite, coming off the loss on Monday Night Football to the Eagles, a gut-wrenching loss. And my thing is, the Chiefs cannot score in the second half.
Is that your denotion?
Yeah. They're going to have to score a lot of points. Actually, I'm not going to say a lot. They need to score 17 points in the first half if they want to beat the Raiders.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think the Raiders cap is like 17. But the Chiefs can't score in the second half, so that's a big deal.
No, another divisional game too.
I know.
For this one.
Divisional games.
I don't really have much to say about this one. I think the Chiefs are caught. They're in a really bad spot after this game. I feel like maybe not the worst spot. They still, obviously have a really good team and they're still going to be a contender. But this could be one of those games where it might be the perfect time for the Raiders to catch them.
I agree,
especially at home.
Yeah, I think it's similar to the Broncos beating the Chiefs. Like that was the right time to catch them. I think it's similar for the Raiders. My only thing is like Josh Jacobs has been really bad. And if you want to beat this Chiefs team, you're not going to be able to throw to Devontae Adams. L'Jarius Sneed has been shut down. And Jacoby Myers is simply a non-factor. I don't trust Aiden O'Connell to be as good of a game manager as you need to be, considering this Chiefs defense and how bad some of his offensive weapons have played.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go Chiefs like I'm going to go Chiefs 28-13. Yeah, I can't see Aiden O'Connell beating Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. We say that now. Maybe it does happen, but yeah, I'm gonna go similar. I'm gonna go Chiefs 28, Raiders 17.
I like it.
Let's go to the next game, Bills Eagles. It's hard to pick against the Eagles right now,
Ooh.
considering they're at home as well, and the
Yeah, but
Bills have
the
been
Bills also did.
atrocious on the road.
Yeah, they did just put a smackdown last week though on the Jets. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, I guess it was fun to watch. Depends on what you're looking for in an NFL game.
Exciting offense from at least one of the teams
Fair
because I
enough.
don't ever get to see that anymore. Our defense is too
That's
good and
true.
our offense is too bad.
Yeah.
it's
My
a
problem is
whole
that
lot of special teams.
I'm trying to see quarterbacks hang on to the ball. So I didn't enjoy that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, the Eagles are going to win this game. As simple as that.
You really you think it's that easy?
Unfortunately, I think the Eagles are going to end with like 2 or 3 losses, and it's going to be to teams that they shouldn't lose to. Like, okay, maybe they lose to the 49ers, actually. They're running the gauntlet right now. Cowboys 2 weeks ago, Chiefs this past week, Bills, 49ers, Cowboys. Luckily, Seahawks, Giants, Cardinals, Giants to end the season, but shit. Dude, why do I feel like the 2 teams they lose to for the remainder of the season are going to be I'm looking at they're going to lose 3 games. They're going to lose 3 more games. It's not going to be this week. It's going to be next week at versus the 49ers. The week after that at Dallas. And then final week of the season, they'll lose to the Giants in MetLife.
Okay. Well, they're also going to lose this week.
Nah.
I'm going 28-24 Bills, man. Look, it's Josh Allen versus Jalen Hurts. Josh Allen he's going to compete there. They're not going to get blown out by any means, though. It's not going to be like I don't think it'll be a 2-possession game. I'm going Bills 28, Eagles 24.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go real close. I'm gonna go Eagles 28, Bills 27.
Ooh, 1-pointer.
Yeah. So I do think the Bills will cover, in case you were wondering. But let's get into Sunday Night Football.
Ooh.
I don't like this one. Ravens Chargers. Oh man. Chargers just lost to the Packers.
Yeah.
I think that end of discussion.
End of discussion.
The Chargers just lost to the Packers after okay. Riddle me this, Batman. How the fuck can the Chargers put up 38 points on the Lions? And then the next week put up 20 points and lose to the Packers.
I have absolutely no idea.
It's crazy.
Absolutely no idea.
Like,
but yeah, no.
Talk about like playing down to your opponent or playing up to your opponent.
Yeah, that's the epitome right there. Is the LA Chargers. Grayson, this Ravens team is really fucking good, man. And the Chargers aren't. The Chargers are very, very vulnerable. They have phenomenal play. I mean, it's always a broken record with these shitheads. You got Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen. You don't have Quentin Johnston. Quentin Johnston doesn't have Quentin Johnston, but they have a good team. They just can't string it together. And I don't know what it is. They're good, but they can't win. Baltimore is good and they can win. They've done it 8 times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be Baltimore in this one big time. Gus Edwards looks good too. Odell's coming off of a great game. They look phenomenal.
Yeah, very fun stat here going into this game. Baltimore scores 27.6 points per game. And they've rushed for 21 touchdowns this season, while opponents have rushed for 4 touchdowns this season.
Holy shit.
So,
wow.
Austin Eckler, under half a rushing touchdown this week if you're a gambler. And yeah, look, the Ravens rush for 155 yards per game. It's actually ridiculous. And they still outpass their opponents, too.
Yeah.
There's just there's a 0% chance in my mind that they lose to this Chargers team, considering what the Chargers are best at is what the Ravens do the best at defending.
Yeah.
Which is throwing to the number one wide receiver, which obviously hasn't worked for teams against the Ravens. And that's all they can do. All they can do is throw to Keenan Allen. And then running the ball, which Austin Eckler sucks enough at. And then you add on how good the rushing defense is of the Ravens.
Yeah.
So, I'm going.
Austin Eckler, he doesn't look like him anymore.
No. He looks like the guy that I would not give money to in the offseason and trade him.
Exactly.
the exact opposite of what we said all summer.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like what the Chargers probably thought he would look like, which is, tip their caps to them for only giving him incentives that he definitely won't hit.
Joshua Kelly, 2024.
Yeah. Shout out Joshua Kelly. Let's see. Raven, how high am I willing to go? Gus Edwards is good for 2, so that's 14 points. No Mark Andrews. Got to keep that in mind. No Mark Andrews for the rest of the season. Fuck it. Ravens 35, Chargers 17.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Ravens 31, Chargers 17.
All right. I like it. All right.
Glad we got that out of the way.
That brings us to Monday Night Football. Bears Vikings division game. Bears are kind of good. Vikings are pretty good. I have no idea. I don't know. Justin Fields makes this undeniably hard to pick. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, he does. I think so.
There's no telling what the fuck happens if Justin Fields is the quarterback.
I mean, last week he had over 100 yards rushing. That was kind of insane to watch. God, and this Vikings team just lost to the Broncos in a comeback loss too. I'm thinking the Bears can get this one because I really don't know what to get out of them. Like they seem like a okay 3-8 team. I think out of all the teams that don't have 4 wins at least, the Bears are probably the best one.
Agreed.
What a trade the Montez Sweat trade has been for them. He is a mean motherfucker on this Bears defense, and I love it. I don't know. I don't know what to think. Do we have Justin Jefferson back this week? I think we may.
I don't think so. I think they're still easing him back in, is what I heard.
And they're not a team that can afford to ease anybody.
They said he's questionable.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Justin Jefferson, my health more important than fantasy football. It's actually not, but you can think that if you want to.
Just ask the Bengals.
Yeah.
Or Arthur Smith.
Oh man. He loves doing that. I think I'm going to take the Bears in a low-scoring affair this week. I'm going to go 21-16 Chicago.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to ride with bald man himself, Joshua Dobbs. I'm going to go Vikings 24, Bears 20.
Okay.
Joshua Dobbs rushing touchdown. Always. Just undeniable.
Always.
But yeah, that is NFL Week 12. That is NFL Feast Week. A whole lot of football to watch. Nobody on bye. So, a whole lot of backup players to watch because everybody got hurt last week. That's fun.
Yeah, there's been a lot of injuries this year, man.
There has. It's crazy. All right, well, let's get into some MLB free agency news. The hot stove, or I guess the stove itself, is hot officially, and it's all started off. It seems like this move kind of kicked off a bunch of other moves. The Phillies re-signed Aaron Nola on a 7-year, $172 million deal. What pains me, and I just voice cracked like a bitch. What pains me with this is that saw some reports. The Braves offered him 6 years, $160 million, and he didn't take it.
Oh man,
That is so much more money. It's ridiculous.
dang, and they didn't take him. Wow.
And now I just have to get tortured by this guy for 7 more years.
I really thought after the Kyle Wright trade, I thought that's what the Braves were doing.
Don't worry. There's some things in store.
Yeah, like Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that we have to sign Shohei Ohtani. You know, no, we'll talk about this at the end of this segment. But let's okay, look, Aaron Nola is a Philly.
Right.
That's for sure. The guy lives and breathes. Yeah, it's huge to bring him back because he's been a huge key to their success, a key to 2 straight attempts at a World Series. Or attempts at getting there. Nice try.
Yeah.
But he's been a cornerstone of this rotation for as long as they've, been on this hot streak of, the last couple of years. I think, look, as much as I wanted to believe, and as much as people believed he would leave, hello.
Here's my dad. He just walked in mid-recording. This is my dad. Yeah. Everybody can say hi to Mr. John Morozic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're talking MLB free agency right now. Yeah.
That's the new flavor of the do.
We got.
This is amazing.
Voodoo. I love Mountain Dew, and Dad always
amazing.
Knows what to get me. Yeah, Mystic Punch and Voodoo.
Fantastic.
I actually might drink this one right now, but
It's not that cold.
Yeah, I'm recording right now.
Okay.
Yeah, mid-recording.
I'm gonna put them in the fridge.
Okay, sounds good. I love you, Dad.
I love it.
So that was my dad.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
I'm gonna put it. I want to just put like featuring a special guest.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, Luke's dad.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, that was better than I ever expected. I looked at the screen and I was like, I was like, wait, what? Like I had to do like a double take. I was like looking at this screen and I look back over and I'm like, like, what is that?
Yeah,
okay.
Who is this guy?
But
oh man.
Yeah.
At least I'm not getting swatted.
Yeah, that's true. At least nobody's just sneaking up behind you while I'm recording them. But yeah, Aaron Nola back to the Phillies just makes sense. Let's move on to the next deal, though. The Cardinals sign Lance Lynn on a 1-year, $10 million deal. And I understand that the Cardinals are trying to rebuild their extremely broken rotation. I don't know if this is a good move.
No, 1 year for $10 million on a pitcher that kind of got shit on last year.
On both teams.
I don't know either.
He was on White Sox and Dodgers. He sucked. It's weird to me.
I don't know. I would have liked to have seen them, if you're going to build your pitching rotation, I would have liked to have seen them just start at ground zero going into this season.
Yeah.
Not Lance Lynn for $10 million.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
I agree. And they also made another starting pitcher move deal today. They signed Kyle Gibson to a 1-year, $12 million deal.
Oh, wow. So all these guys barely get acquainted with their team and then they're gone.
Yeah, it's just another not that good deal.
Yeah.
Like, Kyle Gibson is not a top-tier starting pitcher. Yeah, sure, both of these guys do probably replace Adam Wainwright and Jack Flaherty, but they're not, like, game-changing. These aren't World Series-level pitchers. And you have a fantastic offense. Great. You have a good mixture of veteran talent. You have MLB, MVPs on this team amongst, fantastic rookies, top 100 prospects. Like, you have good players all across that lineup, and they have shit pitching. I don't think Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson change anything.
No, and maybe the thought process is like with the offense that they have now, they're just trying to bring talent in on the other side of the ball that just has not been going out well for them at all.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think it's going to go well for them. I don't. I see what they're trying to do, but it's a bad way to go about it.
Yeah, I agree. Next move, though, the Braves signed Reynaldo Lopez on 3 years, $30 million deal.
Take it away,
I
Grayson.
don't like the terms. I like the signing. I think it's a
Okay.
little too much for Reynaldo Lopez, but I'm cool with 3 years, and I'm glad we picked up a veteran reliever. That's
Awesome.
kind of the way I see it. I think,
Yeah.
we've kind of seen his personality bloom since he left the White Sox, but yeah, I'm kind of happy to see him on this team. He seems like he fits in really well. We need to address the bullpen. I think when it comes down to it, we could probably save some money on the bullpen to open up the starting pitching, and considering we opened up 14 roster spots between trades and non-tenders, he's just one of the guys that fills a gap, and he's a great way to do it. So I love the signing.
Awesome. Awesome.
Our next deal, the White Sox signed Paul Zhejiang on a 1-year deal. That one's confusing to me. I don't know the money. That hasn't come out yet somehow. But you have Tim Anderson. So does this mean the White Sox are going full rebuild and they're going to be trading some players off this year?
I don't know. I know. Hasn't Tim Anderson kind of been on the seesaw as far as like what his future looks like over there in Chicago?
Yeah, because, it seemed like they were going to trade him, and then he was at the lowest value he's ever been at the trade deadline this year. And then they weren't going to trade him. They're obviously going to hold on to Robert. He's not going anywhere, unfortunately. He's going to be the sacrificial lamb of this rebuild. Hopefully, he could be the Freddie Freeman of this rebuild instead of the, I don't know. There's a lot of guys that have not made it quite through the rebuilds. The Mike Trout, possibly. Hopefully it's not, I guess, okay, look, Mike Trout, well-respected multi-time MVP. On the winning side, don't want to be Mike Trout. So, yeah, we'll see what the direction of the White Sox goes. For now, signing Paul DeJong makes me think they're going to trade Tim Anderson, just purely off the fact that Paul DeJong can start in the MLB right now and would make sense for a rebuilding team to start at shortstop.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a fair point to make right there. I don't know. Where do you think Tim Anderson would go?
Atlanta. Yeah. We need a shortstop.
Would you like that?
Yeah. I think he's
Orlando Arcia is the greatest player in the MLB.
No, he's not. You got to look at the underlying numbers there, Luke.
I love Orlando.
I liked he added a lot to this team last year. Advanced stats would say otherwise. But then again, Tim Anderson didn't hit a home run until August. So I don't know if I want him.
Incredible.
But yeah, that's kind of the end of that discussion. But a little bit of news that came out. So Yoshinobu Yamamoto has officially been posted to the MLB free agency. His window will close on January 4th. I got a feeling he gets signed within the next couple of weeks. That just kind of makes sense to me, considering they have a window for players to be signed out of Japan. Teams are going to they're going to want to get a move like that done before the winter meetings in late December. So, but a big wrinkle in this is that he said he would like to play with fellow Japanese players. That changes things for a lot of teams that thought they were in the sweepstakes for Yamamoto.
Yeah.
Because, the Phillies don't have the payroll to go out and get a Japanese player right now. The Yankees probably don't have the payroll. Because there's only really one Japanese guy that you want in this free agency. Shohei.
Yeah.
That alludes to the joke I made about who are the Braves getting now. Is Shohei Ohtani so that we can get Yoshinobu Yamamoto, simply as a liaison. Yeah.
Simply
We're
as a
gonna
liaison.
spend a record breaking amount on Shohei Ohtani to get Yamamoto. No, that's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. But there is still destinations for Yamamoto that work. The Mets still works. Kodai Senga. I think now with that news coming out, I think the Mets are the favorite for Yamamoto, and I already
Yeah,
thought
we'll
that
see.
they probably were.
It's Tanaka time, baby. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, sure. That's all I'm gonna say.
Tanaka 2.0 time.
All right. Well, I think that's enough
I want
baseball.
him so bad, Grayson.
This man's about to
I
fold
really
for
do.
Yamamoto.
That way we can trade Carlos Rodon.
You wish.
And maybe he can go play in Japan, so I can't ever see him again.
All right. Well, I think that's enough of the
man.
baseball. Let's go ahead and get into Premier League weekend. Okay, yeah, we have to start off with Man City Liverpool first. Despite it not being at least our favorite matchup of the weekend. Man City
Yep.
Liverpool. Big deal. Top two teams in the table right now. They get the standalone early start, which kind of pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like, despite
I
the
know.
fact that it gives me a chance to watch the game, because I'm closing that night. I kind of wish it was later in the day. Okay, big issue here. Erling Haaland might not play. Huge issue.
Major issue.
Yeah. Possibly game-changing issue. No, it's not.
I don't know.
Possibly, it is a game-changing issue.
Yeah, but Manchester City are the team that they can account for not having Erling Haaland.
You could just slide in Alvarez.
Yeah, really. And then Liverpool, they've looked great. It's crazy to think about them being like second place right now because I kind of thought that they weren't going to do that, but I mean they've been pretty much almost perfect in the Premier League so far.
Yeah.
Maybe better than Man City as far as like form goes recently.
My thing with Liverpool is like they've almost seemed to be worse than they are because their draws feel like losses. Like whenever they draw, it feels like they lost the win was the idea. And it feels like a loss. Like it seems like it's all non-decisive draws. Where it's not like, oh, both these teams played well. It's like Liverpool played very bad and let this team draw with them.
Exactly.
I think that definitely plays a big part. Like, didn't they draw fucking Luton Town?
Yeah.
Like, that's bad.
Yep.
That should never happen.
No.
So, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think if Erling Haaland's out, it makes it real hard to go with Man City. Just because against this Liverpool defense, it's not easy to just get shots off. But Erling Haaland happens to be amazing at it.
Yeah, Liverpool are a team that can score too. So if you don't have Erling Haaland, you may not be able to keep up with what they're doing on the other side. So
exactly.
But I'm gonna predict as if Erling Haaland is playing. I'm gonna go 2-2 draw.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Liverpool here. With Haaland or not. I'm gonna go 2-1.
All right.
Okay, let's talk about the match that matters. Nope. I was reading Liverpool.
You already messed it up.
Man.
Wait, really?
I'm just struggling right now. Newcastle versus Chelsea.
Oh boy. Well,
fuck you. I hate Luke for the rest of this week.
Yeah, we're being typical soccer fans, just without the knives and
Yeah.
police brutality in the stands.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know. I like.
Sorry, I was about to say I'm going to shoot a flare into your house. Continue though.
Yeah, I'm taking Chelsea in this one. Not only are they my guys, and I'm talking to a Newcastle fan, but that 4-4 draw against City was a big win for Chelsea in my book. So
Yeah.
I'm going to take Chelsea. Newcastle have lost two matches in a row, 2-0, one to Bournemouth and then one in Dortmund in the Champions League. Chelsea are just on the better form right now.
Yeah, Newcastle is pretty injured right now. We're going to be missing Botman, Jacob Murphy, Harvey Barnes, Dan Byrne, probably Callum Wilson as well, and possibly Alexander Isaac. That really diminishes everything on the attack and on the defense and at left mid with Harvey Barnes out. Luckily, like, there are guys to fill these roles, which does make me feel pretty good. But if Chelsea's going to play like they did right before the international break, it's going to be real fucking hard to win this game. I think the biggest part is having Sven Botman out. Obviously, the heart of our defense. Missing this game is huge. Man, it's tough. Like, I trust the midfield for sure. And I trust a lot of the guys that are going to be playing. It's just hard to say that without some of the key guys that are there, that they'll look good. Because, like, that Bournemouth loss was tough. Like, the fucking midfield in that game against Bournemouth was Joe Willock, what's his name, Lewis Miley, and Sean Longstaff. Why? I don't know why. Like, this whole lineup was fucking horrible against Bournemouth. I genuinely
Lewis Hall, though,
didn't understand. Yeah, sure. He got subbed out in the 46th.
shout out Lewis Hall.
He's one of the best on the team in that game, other than Nick Pope, who gave up 2 goals.
Yep.
But, yeah, like, that front three definitely doesn't work at all. Joe Ellington on the left doesn't work. Gordon at striker doesn't work. And Miguel Almiron continues to just be so, like, here and there every week. So,
yep.
If that's the kind of lineup that we're going to be throwing out there, I don't think we'll win. If Guimaraes is back, which he should be, and a few other guys come back, then yeah, confidence is back. With what that was against Bournemouth, we can't win.
Well, no matter what formation or really what player personnel you run, if Chelsea can't finish, y'all are going to win.
That's true.
So, my prediction is Chelsea are going to win this game 2-0. But my outliers are, I could totally see it being a 1-1 draw because Newcastle still have a good defensive identity. And, what if Chelsea can't finish, but they get at least 1 goal?
Yeah.
But I also could see, Chelsea completely falling apart, like kind of how we have been, recently with the end of last season and kind of the beginning of this season. I could see Newcastle winning this game 1-0. But I'm going to go 2-0 as my lock-in score prediction.
Okay. Yeah. I don't even know if I can make a decision here. I'm going to, for the sake of it. I have to pick Newcastle, simply because you are the person that I'm talking to. Newcastle 1-0. 1-0. And if you can't tell in my voice or by looking at me, I am not confident in that at all.
I was just about to say.
I'm about as confident as I was talking about the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, like you're kind of like you're being a little bit Debbie Downer right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I am.
Like, are you like?
It's a matter of I got to stand up straight real quick. It's a matter of that all of the players that I've gotten invested in with Newcastle are either hurt or suspended for gambling. Like, I love Sven Botman, love Jacob Murphy, love Dan Byrne, love Callum Wilson now. I've come around on him. All probably going to miss this game. It's all the guys except Guimaraes that I've like totally bought into are like not in the lineup right now. So it's skewing my view of this squad. Do I genuinely think they can win against really anyone? Yeah, I do. We're 7th in the table for a reason. We have a 14 goal differential. I don't see any issues there. It's just when we have this many players out of the lineup, it's hard to believe in them against Chelsea, who seems to be making a turn for the better.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, let's move on to the next game, though. A big one as well. Another, near the top of the table matchup here, Spurs versus Villa. On Sunday, this one's huge. Spurs have kind of plummeted a little bit out of, being first place for a while. They're now sitting in 4th with 26 points. Aston Villa only a point behind in 5th place. This is a big one for both teams. Tottenham has a chance to jump up possibly into 3rd place with a win. If Liverpool or Man City loses, they can move into 2nd place. They could be tied with Man City on points with a draw. Like, this is a big one for Tottenham. And then Aston Villa as well, if Liverpool loses, could jump over Liverpool.
Yeah, what I am liking to see out of Tottenham, though, is ever since that 4-1 loss to Chelsea, they've continued to lose. Of course, there's only one game after that, but they did lose to Wolves. Aston Villa have kind of been slipping a little bit. I don't know if this is really, you could say, like a permanent slip, because their losses have been bad. But they're not really they're not playing effectively as they once were. And then on the other side, Aston Villa, I think are honestly the hotter team going into this one. You're coming off of a 3-1 win against Fulham. That was just always a really good time, to beat Fulham. Fuck Fulham. But no, I'm kind of leaning more towards Aston Villa in this one. If it was any other mid-table team, I would think that maybe Tottenham could kind of break their 2-game loss stretch. But running into Villa right now is going to be very hard.
Yeah, I agree. I think Tottenham may have benefited from having a week off, considering their form. I think we've kind of talked about that with a few teams now. At these, multiple international breaks throughout this first half of the season, that like some people have been pretty lucky at when the international break comes in, just based on form, and possibly Tottenham got lucky here. I don't know if they really did. Christian Romero is going to be serving a suspension in this game, which is a pretty big deal. Richarlison's out, which doesn't matter at all. I feel bad at this point for shitting on him so much, but I'm sure he deserves it for something. Mickey Van de Ven will miss this one as well, and he's been great this season. And James Maddison out till mid-January. That's the game changer to me.
Yeah, big time.
To me, Villa just has so much that, playmaking ability and just creating chances that I think Villa's going to take this one 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to match you on that.
Okay, yeah. I only say 2-1 because Villa hasn't kept a clean sheet in 7 matches.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, rest of the lineup, though, for the week. Burnley, West Ham, Luton, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Sheffield United, Bournemouth, Brentford, Arsenal. That's all on Saturday. And then on Sunday, Everton, Man United after the Spurs-Villa game. And then Monday, Fulham, Wolves. And then into December.
Can't believe it's already here.
I know. It's wild.
Flying by.
Well, let's go ahead and let's talk about the Champions League. It's coming back as well, as it does after the international break. And Matchday 5. It's a big deal for for qualification for the knockout stages here, because
yeah.
we have, I think, only two groups have actually been settled on who's going to the knockout stage, but the Europa League spot is still up for grabs in those groups. So, right now, Bayern, Copenhagen. So Bayern has 12 points. They're already clinched in. Nobody can even take first from them. They haven't lost a match. Copenhagen and Galatasaray are tied right now. I believe Copenhagen has the better goal differential at -1 with 4 points. Galatasaray, a -2 goal differential with 4 points. And Manchester United, with their sole win, has 3 points. They sit in 4th place.
Ridiculous.
Won't even make the Europa League.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And then in Group B, you have Arsenal with 9 points sitting atop. PSV and Lens both with 5 points. PSV, I believe Lens might have the better goal differential. Yeah, I believe they do. And then PSV and then Sevilla, only 2 points. 2 draws and then 2 straight losses. This is a big week for Sevilla for sure. Just trying to stay alive. And then in Group C, Real Madrid, they have won all 4 games, as expected. Napoli, kind of here and there, but they're at 7 points. I believe a draw here would clinch them a spot in the knockout stages. And Union Berlin, who has been abysmal in Bundesliga, is abysmal here too. They're behind Braga for 4th place here for Union Berlin with only 1 point with their draw with Napoli.
They have been horrible, dude.
Yeah, they suck.
Like, terrible.
Yeah. Group D is settled, though. Real Sociedad and Inter will both be moving on. They both have 10 points. Their only draw comes with each other. And then Salzburg, who won their first match and lost everything else, is in 3rd place. Probably going to get the Europa League spot, considering Benfica's lost all 4 matches.
That's so surprising.
It is. Yeah. Especially considering they played Salzburg and Salzburg beat them.
Yeah.
And then Group E is nowhere close to settled. Atletico Madrid sits atop with 8 points, but Lazio right behind them with 7, and Feyenoord right behind them with 6. Celtic probably doesn't have a chance with 1. They could sneak into Europa League, but I don't see it happening.
I don't either.
F. This one is a shit show. Group F of Dortmund, PSG, Milan, and Newcastle.
Dortmund flipped the table over.
Flipped the whole table. They have 7 points after 2 straight wins over Newcastle. PSG goes win-loss, win-loss. They have 6 points. Milan now at 5 points after their win last week over PSG. And Newcastle went draw, win, loss, loss. Both losses to Dortmund kind of killed them, but put them at 4. Literally, a Newcastle win over PSG this week, and they're at 7 points. And let's say Milan and Dortmund draw. Newcastle's in 2nd. Milan stays in 3rd, and PSG goes to PSG would actually be in 3rd. Milan would go to last on goal differential.
Yeah.
This group will
Crazy.
be pandemonium. I am sure of it. I'd be down making the Europa League, considering the strength of this group. Obviously, I would
that's
prefer
totally
to go
fair.
to the knockout stages. But considering the strength of this group, I would be okay going to the Europa League. I'll say that. Group G, though, that one's settled. Wow. Well, the Europa League spot's not, but Man City hasn't lost. Leipzig lost once to Man City. And then Red Star and Young Boys both have 1 point. Wow.
Was that a draw with each other?
Correct.
It would have had to have been. Yeah.
And I think their next match is against each other. Group H, our final group, Barcelona and Porto are actually even tied at the top. 9 points for each, a 6-goal differential for each. And then Shakhtar Donetsk has 6 points. And Antwerp, the only team other than Benfica with 0 points.
Oh
Pretty
man, why do they
tough.
even let some of these teams in?
Yeah, that's brutal.
Oh
But
man,
matches wise this week, obviously big matchups considering where teams sit. Uh, all the matchups in Group E are big. Lazio Celtic, Feyenoord Atletico Madrid. Um, the one that could shift things around the most is PSG Newcastle, which we already talked about. Obviously, Milan Dortmund's a great matchup. But Barcelona Porto is big for the first seed in that group, considering they're both tied on 9 points.
yeah. Galatasaray, Manchester United,
Yeah, big.
massive, massive, massive. I'm still holding true to my promise. I think Galatasaray is going to be in it. I really do.
Yeah, I do as well.
Even Arsenal Lens could get interesting too,
Yeah,
depending on what Lens can do.
Sevilla needs 6 points in these last 2 matches to make the Europa League, most likely.
They start out with PSV.
Yeah. And Bayern Copenhagen is big because, since Bayern's probably already clinched the first seed out of that group, Copenhagen kind of probably wants points here to stay, at least have a cushion over Man United.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sociedad Salzburg could be kind of big as well. And Braga,
Yeah, I mean, depending on.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, wait.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say Benfica and Inter could be interesting as well, just with how they're tied on
Yeah.
points with Sociedad also.
Yeah. I think Braga Union Berlin is big as well, because if Union Berlin can win that game, they'll, I believe, be ahead of Braga and get into the Europa League somehow, despite being last place in the Bundesliga.
They need that, man. They need that.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't need to play more international matches. Maybe they just need to play in the Bundesliga.
Well, that seems to suck too.
Yeah,
for them as well.
Definitely does. Yeah, that's just about all the matches that are happening next week in the Champions League. Make sure you guys check those out because they're always fun to watch, especially when you get to see some of those teams go on the road. But for now, let's ask some questions. Questions time.
Let's do it.
Luke,
Let's do it.
Do you want to start?
Nah, you got it.
Okay. Starting with baseball.
Baseball.
Who is a player that will have a breakout season next year?
Breakout season.
Yeah. So maybe somebody that either maybe even bounce back, either one.
Bounce back, breakout. I think Kyle Tucker will be the best player on the Astros next season. I don't know if you can really call that a breakout because he's already really good, but I think he'll be better than like Jordan, Altuve. I think Kyle Tucker is going to be the best one.
Okay, I like that. Yeah,
that's my prediction.
Maybe AL MVP if Ohtani jumps division or jumps leagues.
Yeah, that's really the only way he can at this point.
Yeah. Well, then again, Ohtani won't be pitching next year, so that definitely opens the door.
Yeah, well, opens the door for him to hit better too.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
That was a good one. Best running back duo in the NFL so far.
I think I got to give it to Jameer and David Montgomery.
That's who I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how Najee and Jalen Warren offset each other.
Yeah.
But they don't put up the numbers like the Lions guys do.
That's
not
true.
at all.
Not
at all.
Let me take a little bit of a deeper look into
this.
I
like the Cowboys giving more touches to Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, Rico Dowdle.
I feel like that's been kind of helping Tony out a little bit.
Okay, I know A-Chain's been hurt, but Raheem Mostert and A-Chain would be a good shout.
Yep, that's up there as well.
Honestly, the trio, just because they've kind of been funneling throughout, but the Bears' running game has been pretty good. Donta Foreman, Roshan Johnson, and Khalil Herbert, all those guys have spent some time on the injured list, but all playing pretty well. You could also talk about whatever Ravens running back you want and Gus Edwards. That would be
Just pick one out of the
yeah,
sky.
just
Ray
take one.
Rice, even, you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn, I would hate to get caught on an elevator with that guy.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I was actually an elevator attendant.
Oh, for that
Yeah. Yep.
UFC match?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Missed me though.
Your turn, Grace.
Luckily.
Miss me.
All right. You asked an NFL question, so I'm gonna go soccer. What's the deal with all the news coming from this past international break? So much happened.
Oh, I know. I
feel like I can typically go an international break without hearing about like jack shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the media trying to convince us that it's actually a good thing.
Maybe. I don't know. Oh, okay.
Making news out of
Then again, some good news that came during the international break, though. They vetoed, or they didn't pass that rule that would stop Premier League teams from loaning players from clubs that their owners also own.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That's good.
Ronaldo on loan to Newcastle. Confirmed.
They announced that they announced that we're in Atlanta. We're getting aren't we getting a final match in Atlanta? Did you see that?
Oh no, we're getting the opening match of the Copa America.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, for sure. We also, of course, had the Argentina-Brazil crowd issue.
Yes.
The videos are horrible.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and it little bit deeper too, because those countries do not like each other.
No.
And so you almost wonder. You wonder what the Argentine crowd did to make the Brazilian police respond in that way, but you also wonder if maybe the Brazilian police were being Brazilian, not police officers.
Yeah. Yeah, sticking, getting their bias in the way of their jobs could definitely have been a part of it. But like we also had, Huangmin Son playing against China. Okay, what's the deal? Lasers always happen in international matches.
Oh my God, I don't know. I do not know, but
I don't see them very often. But it's always international matches, and it's almost always Asian, Eastern European, or Africa.
I was about to say, look up whenever we're done recording.
There's one of Mohamed Salah that's crazy. Yeah,
that is the one I'm talking about. That Egypt game. Who was the country that they were playing to try to go to the World Cup? Do you remember who they?
I don't remember who it was against, but I definitely remember the scenario.
Yeah,
he literally was lit up with lasers.
Yeah, while he was trying to take a penalty, he misses. Egypt gets knocked out away from they're away at this other country too, and then the other country storms them at the tunnel.
Yeah,
after shining lasers in his face, like it just unbelievable. But yeah, I don't know what it is with laser culture.
Yeah, and then we had Mohamed Salah getting escorted off the field against Sierra Leone as well this week. So much stuff.
I actually didn't even hear about that
one. I think Kamavinga got hurt in training and is out for the rest of the year.
Oh yeah.
So much happened. Crazy.
Yeah, that's a bummer. You and I love Kamavinga.
Yes, we do. Yeah. Way too much news came. I think that was that. I asked that question because I wanted to talk about all the stuff. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no. That was a good question. Well, so you went soccer. I now got to go MLB. So out of all the free agent signings or the ones that haven't been signed, and I know you kind of have like a plan in your head of where all these players are going to go.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to be the most effective free agent from the players that are in there?
I think it's hard to go against Ohtani.
That's what
of course, but I'll go with something more creative. I think there is a few guys out there that can simply not fail at playing the game of baseball, and one of them is Jeimer Candelario.
Okay.
I went for a little bit of an underrated pick there, but he is a guy that just simply does not play bad.
Okay.
Something about him. So yeah, I'm gonna go with John Candelario. No matter where he ends up, he
awesome.
might end up back on the Nationals, is what I'm hearing, which would be crazy. They send him to the Cubs for like nothing. He does nothing for them. Doesn't get like he plays well. They don't even get to the playoffs. Becomes a free agent, goes back. That would be awesome. It's like that's like an Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah. Yeah, and then if you get bored of that, yeah, if you get bored of that team that you went back to, just stop throwing triple digits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Yeah, John Candelario is essentially Aroldis Chapman, except he doesn't pitch and does not commit domestic assault.
Got to throw that out.
Yeah, gotta make sure. That's like being like, this guy plays a lot like Deshaun Watson. No, not that kind of plays. All right. What's the best NFL Thanksgiving moment?
Dude, I was this close to writing down that same question.
To me, there is one answer.
There's a lot, dude. I remember one year, I don't remember what season, like what year it was, but Antonio Brown murdered the fucking Colts, and then Ben, Bell, and Brown got to eat turkey after the game. That was awesome. I also remember, well, we weren't alive for this game, but Randy Moss against the Cowboys is a big one. But I also don't want people to forget the Steelers. I think it was another Steelers-Colts Thanksgiving. And Jerome Bettis wasn't heard correctly at the coin toss.
Steelers Lions.
Oh, go ahead.
1998.
No, Lions.
Steelers
Okay.
Lions 1998. Yeah, the ref.
Yeah.
Like Jerome Bettis called the overtime coin toss while it was in the air, and it looked like Jerome said tails, lands on tails, and the ref says that Bettis said heads. And gave the Lions the ball. Steelers never even got the ball, and the Lions kicked the field goal and won.
Yeah. The only other one that comes to mind is RG3 beating the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. That's a very obscure one, but that one was a very, very entertaining game as well.
Yeah, there's also
Thanksgiving football. Bottom line, it's awesome.
Yeah, the Creed halftime performance of 2001. That is the popular video.
My.
Where the dude is like flying across the field.
Yeah.
That's legendary.
Yes. Yep.
Tom Brady went he had an insane game in like 2010. Peyton Manning threw 6 touchdowns on Thanksgiving Day in 2004. The butt fumble happened on Thanksgiving Day.
No way.
Yeah, November 22nd, 2012. Butt fumble.
Wow.
That's all I've got. But yeah, a lot of legendary moments come from Thanksgiving. What's going to be the legendary moment this year? What's going to happen, Luke? Tell us.
Man, I think Amon Ra, the stage is set for him.
About to say Amon Ra.
The stage is set for Amon Ra to have fuck it. He'll have a 200-yard game against the Packers.
Okay.
I want something iconic, so I'm going to try to manifest it. Amon Ra for 200 yards.
Yeah. I'm more thinking a crazy moment rather than like a crazy performance. We're going to see one of the most wicked injuries. I hate to do that.
What the fuck?
I just feels right.
How wicked are we talking about?
Like that. Not like DeMar Hamlin's situation bad. Just like we're gonna see some bone.
Oh my! A turkey leg.
I already feel horrible. I don't even. Future me should edit this out. Present me is gonna tell him not to. I need to be properly reprimanded for what I just said. Okay, that's the episode. That's second and short.
Backwards leg.
I never even changed the scene throughout this entire episode. I'm just now realizing that. So you've been able to see these socials this whole time and you aren't following them? What are you doing? Whoa. And then you're going to go to that social media account You're going to find the link tree in the bio, and then you're going to share the link tree with all your friends. But you're also, while you're on YouTube, you're going to subscribe, like, comment, turn on the notifications, go back, watch all the other episodes, because we have a podcast playlist that plays it all in chronological order, or in reverse chronological order for you. So you can, let's say you don't know what happened in the conference championship games last year in college football. Go back and listen to me and Brock talk about them. I don't know why you need that information right now. Just a little hint. Georgia won the SEC.
Really?
Yeah. Surprisingly. But yeah, do whatever you'd like on the YouTube, except block us. I don't even know if that's an option. And then go to Apple Podcasts and Spotify, rate us 5 stars, listen to the episodes there, how you like them. Yeah, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I hope everybody is having a great Black Friday, and Christmas right around the corner. Hanukkah as well. I will be observing. Just
Hey, let's all be thankful.
yes.
Let's
everybody-
actually participate in the holiday. It's
Yeah.
not just food and football.
exactly.
Need everybody. Well, you're seeing this after the fact, but I hope on Thursday, yesterday, y'all actually, took a moment, looked at, the roof over your head, looked at whoever you're with, just be thankful for something. It's, let's actually participate in the holiday.
Yeah.
Watch the parade too.
Yeah.
The dog show. The dog show's fucking
show's
great.
good.
I love the dog show, love the parade. And I'm hoping to watch some good football too, but let's all be thankful. I'm
Yeah,
thankful for
I
you,
love it.
Grayson.
I'm thankful for you, Luke. And as me and
Yeah.
Colin said on Monday's episode, I'm thankful for sports. Go sports.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's all I've got. And remember, while you're sitting, well, I guess you're not sitting around the table anymore with your family. Tell all of your family members about this podcast. And if they're really old, go on their phone and download this podcast.
For them.
Yeah, make it autoplay when they get in the car.
Yeah.
Put it on blast throughout their nursing home. All right, that's enough. I'm losing it. We'll catch everybody later. Peace.
Peace.